Hi, I'm Allison Ladon Darawi. Welcome to the Ladon Method. We're going to get started in our chill class. So in today's class, we're going to get started standing. So bring your feet parallel to one another and hip distance. Let's take a moment to find our alignment just to begin. Let's feel that rotation of pelvis towards navel. So you're feeling that core engagement, you're finding that nice neutral spine. Remember, your low back should feel more like a plateau than a valley here, so you're not sticking the butt out. Let's roll the shoulders back and down along the spine. Good. From here, we're going to bring the arms high overhead, pausing here for a few rounds of breath. Relax your shoulders down while at the same time, feel your fingertips reach up towards the ceiling. Feel the crown of your head reach towards the ceiling. This is a small movement, but you can really feel that space you're creating between each vertebra as you get a little bit taller. At the same time, feeling that grounding of your feet. Lift all 10 toes and feel the four corners of each foot, feeling where the big toe meets the sole of the foot, where the little toe meets the sole of the foot and the two sides of the heels. You can lower your pinky toe down, lowering down one toe at a time. Then allow your hands to melt through heart center, relaxing your arms by your sides. Good. From here, let's just continue to relax the arms by the sides. With your palms face forward, and we'll once again lift all 10 toes up off the mat. So we're gonna work with our grounding exercise to really make sure each foot is rooted because we'll be balancing quite a bit in today's class. So close the eyes here and then begin drawing circles with the body, feeling as though you're drawing circles on the ceiling with the crown of your head. Make sure you're keeping all 10 toes lifted. It helps you find the four corners of each foot. So it's as if each foot is its own independent table with four legs, finding where the big toe meets the sole of the foot, little toe meets the sole of the foot, and the two sides of the heels. Continue with this grounding and begin coming deeper into your breath, breathing in and out through the nose. Finding that calmness of breath. You can exhale through the mouth, anything you might be holding on to at any point in your practice today. If you need to release any heat, release through the mouth. But eventually you'll seal your lips, feeling as though you're sipping air through a small straw. Finding that rhythmic, smooth pace of your breath while at the same time finding that full capacity of your lungs. Taking complete inhales, complete exhales. And then reverse the direction of your circles that you're making with your body, making sure that the four corners of each foot still feel nice and rooted and grounded even when you change directions. Continuing with the rhythm of your breath here. Beautiful. Once you feel nice and rooted, you can begin slowing down the pace of your circles, decreasing the size of your circles, eventually making your way back to center, back to stillness. Lower down your pinky toes, lowering down one toe at a time. Then you can flutter the eyes open. Good. From here, we're going to bring the arms high overhead and then hook your right elbow beneath the left. Then we'll cross at the wrists, bringing the palms together to touch. For some of us, that might not be accessible. So you can just bring forearm to forearm. If that's still not accessible, you can always grab on to opposite shoulders. So you have some options here. So just see where you want to take it. And we're going to find some nice organic movement here. So you have quite a few options. I want you to just see what works for you, really communicating with your body and seeing what you need today. So one option is bringing the forearms forward and back away from the face. Another option, you can draw circles with the elbows here. You might take some side body stretches, lifting up and over to one side and then the other as another option. You might take some back bends, leading with your chest, leading with the heart, feeling the fingertips reach back, maybe hinging forward at the hips. And you can take all of these options. We're going to be here for a number of breaths. Start to close the eyes and really awaken the sensations of what's going on with your body today. Try to fill up the room with the sound of your breath. Take a couple more rounds of breath here. Beautiful. On your own time, release the bind of the arms, reaching the fingertips high. Bring the palms together, allowing the arms to melt down by your sides. And from here, we're just going to take a little swaying motion, turning from one side to the next. Let the arms hang heavy. You can bend one knee, then the other. Just make sure you're not tweaking the knee. Just feeling that fluidity in the arms. Just allowing the arms to relax after the bind. Beautiful. We'll slow it down, taking it back to center. From here, bring the arms high overhead. We're gonna take it right onto the other side. Let's bring the left elbow beneath the right. Remember, you have all the same options you had on the first side. So maybe you're crossing out the elbows and maybe the palms come together to touch. Maybe forearm to forearm, or maybe you're grabbing onto opposite shoulders. Just see what works for you today. You have all the same options, maybe forearms forward and back, maybe circles with the elbows, maybe those side body stretches. This time, if you're taking those side body stretches, you might allow the fingers to reach up a little bit higher to take it a bit deeper here, more exaggerated posture. You might take those back bends and forward folds. Just see where you want to take this here. It's your body, it's your practice. Try to stick with that nice rhythm of the breath and really working with those eyes closed, not being distracted by any visuals around you, but just really tapping in to that mind-body connection here. Taking another couple rounds of breath. And on your own time, let's take it to an upright. Release the bind of the arms, reaching the fingertips high. Allow the hands to melt through heart center. Let's relax the arms once again. You can take that swaying action, allowing your arms to hang heavy as you rotate your chest towards one side, then the other. Just a very fluid movement. Good. And on your own time, we'll take it back to center. Inhale, bring those arms high overhead. This time on an exhale, allow your hands to melt through heart center as you hinge forward at your hips. Pausing here just for a couple rounds of breath. You can always bring a nice deep bend in the knees, allowing your belly to relax onto your thighs. Relaxing your head and neck, just allow everything to hang heavy. And on your own time, on an inhale, let's lift it up halfway. Bringing your fingertips to your shins right beneath the knees. Lengthening your spine, puffing out your chest slightly. And once you're ready, on an exhale, we'll plant the palms, step it back to a high plank, top of a push-up, lower onto your knees, taking a modified plank. Lead with your chest, elbows reach towards the back of the room rather than out to the sides, and we lower all the way down onto the mat. Press down the tops of the feet onto the mat. Bring tented fingertips to frame the sides of your mat. Engage your legs, belly button towards the spine to help protect your low back as you inhale, reaching your chest forward. On an exhale, let's lower it down. Plant your palms onto the mat, take it into a tabletop and back in or into your first downward facing dog of this class. Let's feel those sit bones reach up and back. Pausing here, you can pedal out the feet, bending one knee, then the other. Just make sure you're not compromising the length of your spine. You want to feel your sit bones reach up and back towards where the back wall and the ceiling meet, and the crown of the head reaches in the opposite direction, creating greater space between each vertebra. And remember, you can always work with both knees bent if your hamstrings are pretty tight. Just see what works for you. And take any organic movement you might like here. Maybe bending one knee then the other, allowing the opposite heel to melt closer to the mat, coming deeper into your calves and hamstrings. Maybe you're nodding your head right to left, up and down, releasing some tension from the neck. And once you're ready, at the bottom of an exhale, you'll step to the top of the mat. And from here, finding a gentle bend in the knees, roll it all the way up to standing. Rolling the shoulders back down along the spine. Let's bring the arms high overhead. Take a nice big inhale. On an exhale, let's fold it forward, allowing the hands to melt through heart center. On an inhale, lift it up halfway with a nice flat back. On an exhale, plant the palms, step it back to a high plank, top of a push-up, lower onto your knees, taking a modification here. Make sure your core is engaged. Allow your chest to open, not allowing the shoulders to curl forward. From here, lead with the chest and lower all the way down. And this time through, we're going to come in to our low cobra. Slide your hands back in line with your low ribs. Press down the tops of the feet, engage your legs, peeling your chest off the mat. You don't have to lift so high this time through. Just see where you want to take it. Once you're ready, we'll lower down, taking it into a tabletop, curling the toes under, making our way into our down dog. Just taking a couple rounds of breath here. Good. On your own time, at the bottom of an exhale, let's step to the top of the mat. And from here, on an inhale, we'll sit the hips down low, reaching the fingertips high. On an exhale, find your airplane arms. Palms face down as your fingertips reach towards the back of the room. On an inhale, we'll rise it up to a one-leg Tadasana, inviting the left leg with us. From here, come into a warrior three with airplane arms, finding your stability, finding the four corners of that standing foot. You're extending your left heel towards the back of the room. Feel the fingertips reach towards the back of the room as your chest reaches forward, and we'll land in our warrior one stance. So from here, you want to square off the hips to the front of the mat, your right hip back, left hip forward. And then we'll find our eagle arms. So you're bringing your left elbow beneath the right. Again, you have all the same options you had when we were at standing, playing with this arm variation. Make sure your back heel and the outside of the back foot are grounded on the mat. Keep that nice bend in your front knee. Try to get your right knee above the ankle. Feel the belly button move towards the spine. As you inhale, reach your chest up towards the ceiling. It doesn't have to come that far upward. And then reach your fingertips towards the back of the room. Try not to lean back. You're lifting out of the chest. And on an exhale, take your time to get there. We're going to hinge forward at the hips. You don't have to come as low here. You can stay pretty lifted. Just see what your body's looking for at this point. Maybe if you're feeling more open, but don't force it, your chest might come to the inside of that right thigh. And we'll allow our torso to come to an upright. Release the bind of the arms, and we'll push the walls away. Reach your fingertips high, and plant your palms, framing your front foot. Step it back to your high plank, top of a push-up. And this time through, you have the option to move through chaturanga and up dog, or you can take the modification we were taking earlier. Just see what your body needs here. So if you're moving through chaturanga, you lower halfway down. Flip onto the tops of the feet. The weight, if you're coming into your up dog, your weight is in the tops of the feet and your hands, belly button towards spine to protect the low back as you reach your chest forward. On your own time, wherever you are, curl those toes under and we'll lift it into our down dog. Taking a couple rounds of breath here. Good, on your own time, and step to the top of your mat. We'll sit the hips down low, coming into that chair pose once again. And from here, you can have your feet hip distance and parallel or big toes together to touch to see what's working for you right now. We'll find our airplane arms reaching fingertips towards the back of the room, palms face down. Make sure your knees aren't going past your toes here. You ideally want to get the knees above the ankles. Once you're ready to lift off, we'll rise it in to our one leg Tadasana, reaching the right leg high. Finding that nice bend in your right knee, flexing your right foot. Preparing to come in to our warrior three. Find one non-moving point to bring your attention to. Find the four corners of your standing foot as you extend your right heel back. Your fingertips reach back as your chest reaches forward. Feeling that seesaw-like action here, that energetic pull in opposite directions. You don't have to come as far here. That leg doesn't have to lift as high. Just see where you want to take it, and eventually we'll land in our warrior one stance. Remember, in your warrior one, back heel is grounded, outside of the back foot is grounded. Nice bend in your front knee. Take a peek at your left toes. Make sure your left toes are facing directly forward. Your back toes are slightly angled forward, so more towards that upper right-hand corner of the mat. From here, on this side, we'll bring the right elbow beneath the left, finding our eagle arms here. Remember, you have all the same variations. So forearm to forearm, opposite shoulders. See what your body needs here. Belly button moves towards spine as you inhale, reaching your chest high. See where you want to take it on the side. Take your time. Eventually on an exhale, we'll hinge forward at the hips and see where your depth is. Maybe you're staying pretty lifted. Maybe the chest comes to the inside of that left thigh, but make sure your hips are continuing to stay nice and squared off towards the top of your mat. Once you're ready, we'll slowly rise it to an upright. Release the bind of the arms, pushing the walls away. So the arms come out like wings. Reach your fingertips high up towards the ceiling. Then we'll plant the palms, framing our front foot. Curl your back toes under. We'll step it back to a high plank, moving through your version of your flow. Maybe chaturanga, up dog. Maybe that modification on the knees in low cobra. Or maybe you're just moving straight into down dog today, and that's fine also. See what your body needs. Good. At the bottom of an exhale, you can look to the top of the mat, either stepping or jumping. From here, we'll sit the hips down low, reaching the fingertips high. On an exhale, find those airplane arms. On an inhale, rise up to that one-leg Tadasana with your left leg. From here, bring your left elbow beneath the right, finding those eagle arms once again, and we'll come into our full eagle pose. In your full eagle pose, you're bringing your left knee right on top of the right knee. You're sitting back into an imaginary chair, so it feels like you're sitting in a chair in a cross-leg position. If it becomes challenging to balance here, you can always lower down your left toe onto the mat, allowing it to act more as a kickstand. See if you can bring your elbows in line with the shoulders here. If you want to feel a little bit deeper to your shoulders into the upper back, you might feel your forearms reach away from your face, but don't force it. Focus on one non-moving point, helping you find your stability. Find the four corners of your standing foot here. Good. Once you're ready, we'll rise to standing, lifting that left knee high, taking it in to your warrior three with eagle arms here, landing in your warrior one stance. Take a moment to set up that low body. Invite your right hip back, left hip forward, back heel outside of that back foot are grounded. Nice bend in your front knee as you inhale, reaching your chest high. Exhale, let's hinge it forward at the hips. We were here before, it should be familiar territory. Slowly rise it up, release the bind, push the walls away. Reaching your fingertips high. From here, allow your left fingertips to graze your back thigh. Turn your right palm towards the back of the room as you reach your chest high. Remember, you're leading with the chest. Feel as though string is pulling your heart up towards the ceiling. Good. We'll take it to an upright, reaching the fingertips high. Plant your palms. Let's step it back to our high plank, moving through your flow of choice. Let out cleansing breaths if you need to. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. take a moment here to check in. We're going to lower onto our knees, coming into a tabletop. Stacking shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. Just take a few rounds of cat and cow here. Just seeing what your body needs at this point, really deepening the conversation of your mind and body. In cow, you drop the belly low, bringing your chin and hips high as you inhale. On an exhale, hollowing out when you move into cat, chin towards chest, pelvis towards navel. Reacquaint yourself with your breath if you lost it along the way. Beautiful. Let's find a nice neutral spine. We'll curl the toes under, returning to our downward facing dog. At the bottom of an exhale, you can step or jump to the top of the mat. We'll sit those hips down low, reaching the fingertips high once again. Exhale, find your airplane arms. On an inhale, rise it up to that one leg posture, lifting your right leg high this time. Once you're ready, we're going to hook the right elbow beneath the left on this side, finding your eagle arms, coming into our full eagle pose. Bringing your right knee right on top of the left, sitting back into that imaginary chair. Feeling as though you're sitting in that cross-legged seated position. Remember, it's knee on top of knee in this posture. It's not a figure four. See where you want to take it. If you lose your stability, you can always lower that right big toe down in your cross-legged position. Remember to focus on one non-moving point, a little speck on the floor, something on the wall ahead of you. Find the four corners of your standing foot. Once you're ready, you can take it back to standing. Lift your right knee high. We'll prepare to come in to that warrior three with our eagle arms. Your right heel reaches back, your fingertips reach forward. Again, that seesaw effect comes into action here. And once you're ready, we'll land in our warrior one stance. Square off the hips, left hip back, right hip forward. Back heel grounded, nice bend in that front knee. On an inhale, let's reach the chest high. Fingertips move towards the back of the room. On an exhale, we'll hinge it forward, seeing where your depth is this time through. On your own time, let's take it back to an upright. Release the bind of the arms. Push the walls away and reach your fingertips high. Coming into that exalted warrior on this side, allow your right fingertips to graze your back thigh. Reach your chest high. You turn your left pinky finger in so that left palm faces the back wall as you reach your heart up towards the ceiling. Once you're ready, let's take it to an upright, reaching the fingertips high. We'll plant the palms, stepping it back to a high plank, top of a push-up, moving through your flow of choice. Eventually, we make our way back into our down dog. Breathing into it. And on your own time, we'll step to the top of the mat, lowering down into a comfortable seated position. And then from here, extend your legs forward, palms face up. Lower it all the way down onto your mat. You can walk your heels in towards your hips. From here, bring your left ankle above the right, finding your figure four. Flex that left foot a lot. Then begin bringing your right knee in towards your chest. You can reach for that right hamstring or that right shin. With your left hand, you're reaching through that triangle shape, that opening you've created with your legs. You're not reaching for the outside of your left leg. And once you're ready, just see where your depth is here. Try not to compromise flexing your left foot. It helps to protect your left knee, especially as you come deeper here. Make sure the back of your neck is long. Feel your chin turn slightly towards the chest. Breathe into this, finding that full length of breath. Complete inhales, complete exhales, allowing your body to relax. Allow your mind to find greater clarity here, so you can move more freely. Good. Once you're ready, release the interlace of the fingers, lower your right foot onto the mat. We're going to come into that twist with the cross leg position, but remember, you can always stack knee on top of knee if that's uncomfortable for you. If you're taking the cross leg position, left knee is on top of right. Spread your arms out like wings in line with your shoulders. Lift your hips up and gently scooch them over to the left. Then allow both legs to fall to your right, bringing your gaze towards your left fingertips, feeling that wringing out action of your body. As you inhale, the spine gets longer. As you exhale, you might twist a little bit more. Breathing into it. Only once you're ready, let's take it back to center. We'll unwind the legs, squaring off the hips here, and bringing our right ankle above the left, preparing to come into our figure four on this side. Make sure that right foot is nice and flexed, and begin guiding your left knee in towards your chest, interlacing your fingers across your left hamstring or across that left shin. Get the back of your neck long, slightly turning your chin towards your chest, feeling that lengthening of your spine here. And at the same time, see where your depth is. You'll notice that when you find that rhythmic pace of your breath, that calm pace of your breath, as well as the full depth, complete inhales, complete exhales, your body relaxes so much more, allowing you to move deeper. In your own time, release the interlace of the fingers, lower your left foot down. We'll come into that cross-leg position, taking our spinal twist on this side. Bring your arms out in line with your shoulders like wings. Let's lift the hips up, scooching them over to the right, and allow both legs to fall to your left, bringing your gaze towards your right fingertips. As you inhale, lengthen the spine. As you exhale, you might twist a little bit more, wringing out the body, feeling that cleansing you're creating here. Beautiful. On your own time, let's take it back to center, unwinding the legs, make sure your hips are nice and squared off, and bring your feet towards your hips. Feet are parallel, hip distance, and you can lightly graze the backs of your heels with your fingertips. We're preparing to come into our bridge pose. You can grip onto the sides of the mat if you like here for a bit more leverage. We'll lift the hips up towards the ceiling. Another alternative, you can interlace your fingers beneath the sacrum, feeling your shoulder blades move towards one another as your hips maybe reach a little bit higher. See where you want to take it here. And once you're ready to make your way down, release your interlace of the fingers, release your shoulder blades, and lower down from upper, middle to lower back. Giving yourself a nice massage as you lower down. Heel toe your feet towards the wide edges of the mat, walking your feet slightly forward, and we'll windshield wiper the knees, allowing one knee in, the other knee out. Just beginning to slow things down here. And eventually take it back to center. Let's hug our knees in towards our chest. And on an exhale, we'll release into the mat. Extending your feet towards the top of your mat. Bringing your arms slightly away from your side body with your palms face up. Feel your shoulder blades melt down towards your heels. Try to relax every muscle, every joint in your body. Allowing yourself to melt into your mat. Remember, you can stay here for as long as you like. You deserve this time you set aside for yourself. Thank you for moving with me and for holding me accountable to you. I can't wait to see you next time. I'm sending lots of love and positive energy your way. Goodbye.